I decide in my mind, I am loved, I am in a harmonious relationship, I am receiving the money that I want to in my bank account every month. You change your thought process, your reticular activating system through neuroscience. Repetition will literally show you evidence around you in people, places, and events to prove your new belief system is real.
Peace and riches blessings. I am Michael B. Beckwith, the host of Take Back Your Mind. Peace and blessings, and welcome to Take Back Your Mind. I'm overflowing with enthusiasm because we're going to have a great conversation with Natasha Graziano. You're going to love her. She's enthusiastic. She has a very powerful articulation about the law of attraction. You're going to really love this. As you know, every week we have a life question of the week. And so we're going to have that in just this moment. But remember, subscribe. Tell your friends about Take Back Your Mind. Radical blessings to all of you, and thank you for tuning in to Take Back Your Mind, my podcast. As you know, every week we have a question of the week that many of you send in on a regular basis. And so the question this week is from someone by the name of Melissa D. She's from Los Angeles. She writes, if I like someone, but they claim to be emotionally unavailable, what should I do? Can I keep some kind of relationship while still respecting my own boundaries? Now, your answer is kind of already within your question there. Can you keep a relationship but keep your boundaries? What you're saying is you're going to move into this relationship with no expectations. The individual has already told you they're not emotionally available for whatever reason. Maybe there's some trauma, maybe there's some unhealed areas of their life in which they're not available to having an intimate relationship. So remember the old statement, believe someone when they tell you who they are or where they are emotionally. So believe this individual. If they say they're not emotionally available, believe that. And definitely keep your boundary, but maybe walk very slowly in terms of a relationship. They've already told you they're not available. So maybe it's just an acquaintanceship. Maybe it is just a surface friendship because they're not emotionally available for anything else. Oftentimes people make the mistake of thinking, oh, I'm going to go into this relationship and I'm going to help change that other person. I'm going to help heal that other person. No, that's their job, to enter into some type of a spiritual awareness, spiritual practice, spiritual therapy to heal themselves. So you may be setting yourself up for heartbreak if you think you're going to go into this relationship and change them or heal them or break through this emotional wall. Light friendship, acquaintanceship. Other than that, you might be setting yourself up for hurt or heartbreak. Walk slowly. Peace and blessings, Melissa. And all of you who have a very similar question. Today, I have Natasha Graziano. And her latest book is, it's right here, Be It Until You Become It. Let me tell you just a little bit about her. Top-ranked mindset coach, motivational speaker, passionate about helping people transform their lives through neuroscience and ancient wisdom. Sometimes we say ageless wisdom. So she's bringing us into an awareness of this ageless wisdom and the science behind it so that what? You can take back your mind, you could change your life. You may have seen her on BBC, New York Times, Wealth Insider, Marie Claire, Harper's Bazaar, Business Insider, Vogue, Forbes, USA Today, many other top-ranked publications. She's the creator of the renowned motivational behavior synchronicity method MBS for short. It doesn't stand for Michael Beckwith Superstar. That stands for Meditational Behavior Synchronicity, which helps you to remove self-limiting beliefs and become a powerful creator in your own reality, and is the secret formula to Natasha's success. We're going to get into that in a moment because she has a powerful story. She's the host of the Law of Attraction podcast, which has gained over 100 million streams and is ranked in the top 10 podcasts to download in 2021 by Influence magazine. And she's the author of her upcoming book. I think it's out now, right? It's out now. You better get it. Be It Until You Become It, The Law of Attraction Explained Through Neuroscience, Ancient Wisdom, which we are going to discuss right now. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. God, what an intro. What a special place to be. This is an amazing podcast, and I am so excited to get into it with you.
I'm so glad. Now, many people, there's millions of people who know who you are, particularly in Great Britain. Mm-hmm. You're now here in Los Angeles with me. Uh-huh. So I want everyone to know a little bit about your backstory. Is it true that approximately 5 years ago you were actually homeless? Mm-hmm. Tell us.
Yeah, it's a wild story. I've built very fast. I've manifested the life of my dreams and changed my life very, very quickly. Here I am today, but it's not where I began.
Right.
Where I began was I had no money. I was constantly feeling sorry for myself, self-sabotaging. I ended up as a single mom. Yeah, we ended up going to the street. I ended up with nothing because I self-sabotaged my world around me, got myself into debt, got myself into a messy situation, and boom, you don't own anything. You don't have anything to your name, and all of a sudden you are left with nothing. But from that place, I decided I'm not going to stay here.
Right.
There is no way this is my destiny. There is no way that me being in this space is where I'm meant to be. I'm meant to be somewhere greater. The source, God, the universe, whatever you call it, has something bigger for me.
Right.
And I knew I have to take back what's mine, step by step by step, and take control of myself first.
Outstanding. So you made a choice. Mm-hmm. There was something that happened to you internally where you decided this was not the life you were destined to live. There was another life trying to emerge. Tell us about that internal process. I know you synthesize it in your book to a degree, but oftentimes people think that they're helpless. Mm-hmm. They think that, that's just fate. Or that condition can determine my life. But something happened within you. You made a choice.
A choice, and that is where it begins. I made a conscious decision to change my life. I made a conscious decision that I was not going to stay left and forgotten and ignoring what was really going on. I decided internally, as you say, I internalized it. I used what was within me to realize that what was around me comes from within. Mm-hmm. So everything you see in your outer reality is a direct reflection of your inner self-beliefs. And I knew I have to work on me because this is not someone else's fault. Because when I point a finger and I say, you're the problem, look at this. 1, 2, 3 fingers are pointing back at me.
Right.
Who's the problem?
Right.
So I knew I have to do something different. I'm listening to wonderful things. I'm reading great things, but I'm not applying them.
Application. Practice.
There we go.
That's what changed. Mm-hmm. You made a decision, and then you went into application.
Yes.
This is very important what you're saying because many of you may have gone to seminars, you may have read books, but are you actually applying what you have read? Are you going to apply what you read in this book? That's the key. And you synthesize a lot of your technologies. What do you want the audience to take away from this book?
I want them to know that Be It Until You Become It is about you becoming the version of you before you get there. You don't have to wait till you're a multi-millionaire to give to charity. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be healthy once you are healthy. It is all about becoming the version of you in your mind before you get there.
Wow.
Fake it till you make it doesn't exist. You don't want to live fake it till you make it. You don't want to fake being it. You don't want to be second place to somebody else. You want to be first place to yourself.
Right.
You want to become the version of you before you get there.
So you're actually inviting people. We both do this a lot. You're inviting people to feel it even before there's any physical manifestation or evidence of it. Mm-hmm. Just apply the teachings, get into the feeling tone of health, prosperity, generosity,
Yes.
happiness,
Yes.
even before there's any evidence. That's a little difficult for many people.
And it is. And there's science to back it up.
Yeah.
I'll give you some neuroscience here. There's a part of your brain called the reticular activating system, okay? In the lower part of your brain, it filters 2 million bits of data every second, colors, sounds, things that you see. And it shows you anything that you deem as important. So what do you deem as important? Well, anything that you focus your mind on is what it deems as important. So if you're focusing your mind on, I am unworthy, I'm never going to make money. Oh, I'm never going to meet the love of my life. I'm stuck in this situation at work. It's never going to get better. Then, of course, your reticular activating system is going to show evidence around you to prove that belief system is real.
Right.
So change it.
Right.
Decide, no, okay, it may not be true that I'm a multimillionaire. It may not be true that I'm prosperous right now, that I'm healthy, that I'm abundant, that I'm in love, that I'm any one of these feelings. But if I decide in my mind, I am loved, I am in a harmonious relationship, I am receiving the money that I want to in my bank account every month, you change your thought process, your reticular activating system through neuroscience. Repetition will literally show you evidence around you in people, places, and events to prove your new belief system is real.
You're listening to Natasha Graziano. Look at this. Be it until you become it. You can feel her passion. You can feel her energy. She's embodied this. Now, I want to ask you about this quote because it's in your chapter on the subconscious mind. And you said, believing that wealth is merely an external aspect is completely untrue because it only involves the physical aspect of generating money. Now, there's a lot in that statement.
Yeah.
You're saying, this is what I'm getting. Many people think that first of all, wealth is external. And they think they have to do a lot of external things, but you're talking about something else as well.
You got it. Well, I remember writing this, and I remember where it came from. It was internalizing and understanding that I was literally packing a bag. Okay, I was packing my son's toys into a big black trash liner, and I was sitting in this apartment we're about to check out of the next day, 11 a.m. to nowhere. By the way, to nowhere. No.
Wait, I want to stop right there. You were checking out and had nowhere to go. I want you to hear that. She had nowhere to go. She was checking out and had nowhere to go. Many of you can relate to that. Your back is against the wall. You don't know what you're going to do. There's some kind of issue in your life, but you have no answer to it. So the reason why I'm bringing that up, because we're not dealing with airy-fairy concepts here. We're dealing with real-life issues, and that she actually went through a real-life issue to be able to sit here today. Continue.
Okay, so now I'm packing the bag, and I'm looking around, and I'm thinking, where are we going? And I remember thinking, I don't have a dime to my name. I can't even afford a hostel for me and my son tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Where am I going? And I remember knowing I don't have any money, but it doesn't matter whether it's true or not, whether I have money. It's what I believe. Mm-hmm. So if I believe right now that I can get out of this, that I can heal, that I'm going to have money, that I do have money, even though it doesn't feel like it, I'm going to still give $2 to a homeless person who's really homeless, like on the street, sleeping on the street. I am not going to stay there. And sure enough, I didn't.
And here we are today. Now, one of the key things in your book, and I think anybody who has a heart or on the path of heart always deals with this one word. Forgiveness.
Absolutely.
Key. And you really have a wonderful articulation in your book about it. Why is that so important?
Forgiveness is the cure, I believe, to everything. It's the cure to so many problems that anyone faces in their life. It's the solution to wars. It's the solution and the cure to so many things we hold in our body, because whatever we hold inside of us is then externalized through our pores, through dis-ease, when your body is not at ease in yourself. And I know you teach this so magically and perfectly. So when we are holding on to something, it is actually scientifically proven resentment to cause ailments in your body. There's a scientific study in my book talking about this from, I think, Dr. Nina Ratcliffe, if I've got that right. And you will hold on to things. And if you hold on to things, you will create more chaos in your life, more problems. Your immunity goes down. But when you choose today, as simple as this, to let go, just to let go today of one thing, that you're holding on to, maybe something that you're not forgiving yourself for, or maybe something you're not forgiving someone else for, you today just decide, I'm going to let go. I'm going to forgive myself or them or both for that situation, event, thing that happened. And guess what? Do you know how light you feel after? Do you know how free you feel after? You can go about your day. And it doesn't mean that you are forgetting what happened to you.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean you're forgetting. I was sexually abused twice in my teens and in my 20s. And I do not look at that and think, I've forgiven them, yes. But it doesn't mean I've forgotten. It doesn't mean if I see them, I have to hug them in the street. You can see them from afar. You can love them from afar. You can even forget them from afar. You don't even have to know them, still be afar. But forgiveness, we hold on to resentment. They don't hold on because the person or the thing that happened to you, they get on with their life.
Right.
And we are the ones that hold it inside of us.
Right. One of the things that I say is that holding a grudge is heavy lifting.
Yes.
You're holding a vibration and a frequency of unforgiveness, resentment, animosity, and those frequencies, those thought forms, as you just taught us, replicate themselves.
Yes.
They show up in our life as symptoms, as moods, as blocking of experiences, and we're doing it. And so oftentimes people will say, well, I'm a good person, but you know what? These are laws we're dealing with.
Yes.
And if you're a good person, but if a hammer is about to fall, the law of gravity is not going to say, oops, she's a good person. The hammer's not going to hit you.
Yes.
No, it's going to hit you if you're under the hammer.
Yes.
So the idea is that these are sacred laws.
Yes.
We want to be in tune with these laws and the power of forgiveness, self-forgiveness, and forgiveness is a law that changes our life. I try to tell people, before you go to bed at night, just run through your day. And if you're holding on any annoyances, any unforgivenesses, somebody said something, don't go to bed with that.
Beautiful.
Release it, forgive it, let it go, and go to sleep in an awareness that something wonderful is trying to happen in your life, you see. Take back your mind.
God, that's powerful.
Now, the MBS. MBS, what is that and how can we use it?
Meditational behavioral synchronicity is a form of deep guided meditation rooted in neuroscience, and you begin it with ancient breathing pranayama styles of breathing techniques. And you do this, it's for people who can't meditate. It's for those who say, I don't know how to meditate. Oh, my brain doesn't stop racing, or I have too many thoughts in my head. This is why I created it. It's something that when I was ill, I had an overactive thyroid, hypothyroidism. It's an autoimmune disease. And when I was going through it, my brain, because it's hyper, you're super fast paced.
Right.
You have anxiety attacks all the time and your brain's going so fast. You're thinking a million thoughts a second. It's sometimes very painful for your mind and your body. And so in that moment, I decided, well, this is really horrendous. I need to meditate, but I tried to meditate and couldn't. So I'll brief this story for you.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
10 years previously, I'd been in Cyprus. I was in a monastery. My parents sent me away.
10 years ago?
Yeah, no, 10 years before the
Oh,
illness. Way back now. I was only 18.
Your parents sent you to a monastery when you were 18?
Yeah, they sent me to a monastery. I was a naughty girl at school, and they said, you're going to a monastery in Cyprus, which is where some of my family are from. So off I went to this monastery with nuns and all kinds of other things. And I thought, why am I here? And like, what, in today's world right now, if I went to a monastery, it'd be a whole different experience. I would understand humility. It would be a beautiful trip, a mission. Oh no, at the time at 18, when you were a rebellious teenager, I just saw it as hell. And I just did not see the benefits. So every day I would try and escape. And every day I tried to escape cleaning toilets, all this crazy stuff we were doing. And I would walk into the mountains, the Troodos Mountains around, and I would try and look for a bus stop, right? I was looking for this one bus stop. I could never find it. Of course, the universe was putting me together with this man who was sitting across one hill, and he was looking over at me, and he was, at the time he looked in his 70s. Topless guy, very tan, long beard, yogi, right? And he was cross-legged, and he was doing this breathing exercise.
Yeah.
And he was inhaling his chest, and I was so fascinated by it that I would go back the next day. I gave up trying to escape. He became my fascination. And I would watch him, and obviously I was already intrigued by it. I'd read The Secret. I'd heard your words. I'd heard a lot of what you were already teaching. This is going back, 16, 17 years, right? And I'd already known about this stuff. And then I saw him, and something shifted, and he saw me, and he said, come over. And I was like, okay, he's seen me. What do I do? But I went over, and I sat down with him. And when I sat with him, he said, breathe with me. And I said, what are you doing? And he said, the breath can either heal you or kill you.
Yeah.
And that was when I knew there's something greater here that I totally missed. You know, I'm young, I want to learn. So eager to learn, he started teaching me pranayama breathing. I forgot about it. 10 years later, when the illness hit, I then was thrown into meditation myself just by understanding I needed to calm my mind, but I couldn't. So I got in touch with him. I wrote him a letter. He's actually 104 years old.
He's still on the planet.
Oh yeah. Well, what was then? I don't know today to this day, but still
but at
around.
the time he was
At
104.
the time, 104 years old. Isn't that incredible? So he'd be what, like 111 now if he's still around. I should get in touch. Yeah, I'm overdue a letter. And so I wrote to him, and then I said, please, can you let me know if you can tell me about breathing? Thinking he would write back. Anyway, I left my number in there, and he sent me a message, and we actually video called, which was really amazing. Really, he had a mobile. But anyway, we got in touch. It was amazing. We video called. Instead of me shutting the laptop after every one of our phone calls or our video calls, we had 2 or 3, I would actually meditate. So we would do the breathing exercise. I would close the laptop and then go into meditation. Nothing to do with him, just it was what I felt to do. But because my mind was already so calm, because I'd already calmed my brainwaves into maybe an alpha state at that point, from where we are now in beta, where I went calmer into alpha, I was able to meditate. I was able to go deeper. I was able to clear the racing thoughts in my mind because of the breath work that I'd done with him, and meditate. And there and behold was born the MBS method, because the MBS method now means you breathe into meditation.
Yes.
Then during the meditation, I walk you down into a deeper part of your mind. You access your higher mind faculties, and you remove the limiting belief that is stopping you from achieving your main goal.
That's right.
And then whilst there, we inject a new belief about what we really want in our life. And we hold it, we anchor it in, and we come back into the moment.
This is fantastic. You are one of the new powerful voices that's so necessary at this time in human history to bring people into this teaching. I'm so glad you're here. You know, I do breath work every day. I do breath work before I speak.
Wow.
When you see me at Agape, you know, I'm sitting. I do my rapid breath. I do my deep breath when I go behind the stage. And then I've already meditated in the morning, and I walk out on stage full of the prana and the energy. It's necessary.
So necessary.
Yeah. So this
God, I love it.
This is very powerful. And all of this is in your book, right?
Oh, everything. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And when you go actually on the website on beittilyoubecomeit.com, there's a free program which goes with the book, which you can do the exercise.
Outstanding. I'm glad you are here, because you're one of the young, powerful voices that we need right now.
Thank you.
You have 5 pillars.
The 5 pillars.
Of manifestation.
Yes.
What are they?
5 pillars to manifestation. Number 1, get clarity on your vision. You got to know exactly what it is you want. So if you want a car, if you want a house, if you want this, if you want that, know exactly what it is you want. When you want to achieve something, the main problem, the biggest hurdle, and you know this from your people, they don't know what they want. People oftentimes don't know what they want. So
they know what they don't want.
They know what they don't want.
They don't know what they do want.
Yeah. So they focus on it. Oh, I don't want that to happen to me. Yeah.
I don't want to be sick.
Yeah. But that's not what's, but you got to focus on what you do want.
Right.
Clarity. Napoleon Hill goes back to Dale Carnegie. Writing out your statement, reading it aloud, the Tesla, method, reading it aloud 3, 6, 9 times a day, however far back you go, it's there.
Yeah.
So clarity of your vision. Number 2, remove the limiting belief.
Yeah.
Remove whatever is blocking you from achieving your goal. Whatever it is that is stopping you. You can do that through meditation. You can do that through NLP. You could do that through my MBS method. You could do that through anything that helps you to go deeper. Anything. Number 3, replace the old self-limiting belief with a new belief about yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the new one. So if your old one was, I don't want to be poor. I don't think I'm worthy of love. Well, now your new one is, I'm worthy of attracting an amazing person into my life. Right. And I am abundant. And that's my new belief. Again, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's whether you believe it.
Right.
Number 4, expand your vision.
Yeah.
So expand your vision through people, events, and places, and your famous visualization techniques,
Yeah.
life visioning, things like that. You any way that you want to expand your vision. So it could be things that you watch. It could be things that you read. It could be this podcast, tuning into this every single show, expanding your mind through things that you are ingesting into your mind. It's how you expand what you want. If you want to, I'm just going to use love because I know a lot of people love love. When you want to find love, then don't watch movies where they're having heartbreak and shit and bad things going on.
It's okay.
You got to watch stuff that makes you feel in love.
Right.
I watch Christmas films in July when I wanted to find love.
Yeah, so you're changing your chemicals of your body when you watch those.
Yeah.
Those particular programs, comedies, Christmas programs, or whatever the programs are. The chemicals of your body that's being released is vivifying the immune system, creating coherence around the brain, amplifying, slowing down your aging process.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're giving. This is really good what you're saying.
So you're amplifying this what you want, right? And life visioning is like Pillar 4. Just buy his book. So that's a great way. And then Pillar 5, go to Agape because it is take inspired action. Literally Pillar 5. So you have to take action now. So go get into a community like Agape. Go and spend time with people who are going to help you get to the next goal. Take action. Literally, that's it. 5 is take inspired action every single day. Yeah. If you did 3 small goals towards your main goal, 3 small goals towards your main goal. So it's not that hard. Think about it. It could be working out today. It could be signing up to Agape. It could be buying the book you want. It could be writing the first chapter of your book. Whatever it might be. That's 1,095 goals a year. 1,095 goals a year. So now you've done, well, your side hustle's your main hustle. You've actually probably achieved your goal.
Right.
And those are the 5 pillars to achieving your goals.
Outstanding.
To manifesting.
You know, one of the things it reminded me of something that I teach, and that is the most dangerous people on the planet are people who don't have a vision. You don't want to hang around with dangerous people. So if you're hanging around with people, they have no goals, no visions. They're not thinking about a beautiful future. They can pull you down. You can actually get into their frequency and their vibration. Easily. So you're talking about taking inspired action, being around people who are actually seeking to become a greater version of themselves.
Absolutely, because you are an average of the 5 people you're around. So when I'm around you, and you're my friend, so we jam, we have fun, we just vibe off each other, and then boom, the next amazing thing happens to you because you're around people who just elevate you because their average is higher than you. So your average raises up.
Yeah. What's the magic formula?
The magic formula is self-belief plus inspired action.
Belief in it. Yeah,
belief in action.
This is really important because when we did The Secret many years ago, and then subsequent movies that I've done, people were always asking about action, and I was always teaching. Once you get the vision, you can actually ask, "What's my next step?" And the universe will tell you in dreams, intuition, direct knowing. But you can actually ask, "What is it that I need to do now? What step do I need to take?"
Wow.
And if you listen sincerely, you'll hear guidance. You'll feel it. Sometimes you'll get it in a dream.
Wow.
Sometimes you'll just hear, "Go left, not right." And then suddenly you're meeting the person that you need to meet to go to the next level of your attainment and the manifestation of your goal and your dream. So action is very important. And I like what you're saying about action because if you take baby steps, then inertia becomes momentum. If you're stagnant, you take little steps, like you say, "I'm going to work out today. I'm going to sit down in 5 minutes and just meditate. I'm going to read for 9 minutes in this book today.
Yes.
I'm going to call somebody that's vibrating really high just to have a conversation." You take baby steps, and then the next thing you know, the inertia and the stagnation is shifting towards momentum.
Yes.
And now you're being literally compelled into right action.
You've got it. What I love is the way that inspired action creates, like you said, inertia, creates drive, momentum, and motivation.
Right.
That is so powerful, that little mix right there. Once you get into a flow, right, I'm sure someone listening right now, you just feel like Why is it? I'm having an amazing day and then something else amazing happens because you're in a flow state. You're just feeling great. So every day when things are happening, good things are happening, more good things will happen. And then when something bad happens, it doesn't knock you off so hard because you're already in an amazing place.
Right.
You know, a bad mood is so easy to allow you, it just takes over. So easy to get into a bad mood, but it's just as easy to get stuck in a good mood.
Right.
So you're going to get stuck in a bad mood or you're going to get stuck in a good mood.
Right.
It's just as easy. So just choose.
You feel the passion of Natasha? This is real. This is how she is. She's a passionate, dynamic being, and I'm so glad to have her on. Now, what are the most common mistakes that people make in the manifestation process that we need to know about?
That is such a good question. No one has ever asked me that. That is absolute gold dust. And you know why? Because there are millions of mistakes people make. Oh, it doesn't work for me. Okay, there's one. You're whining and complaining.
Whining and complaining.
Boom, there's one. Why is it not working? Because you're whining all the time. 95% of you is like, I want it. I can do it. But 5% of you is a bitch to your family member. You're nasty to your boss. You're nasty to your person, whatever it is, that 5%, or your subconscious mind in that 5% doesn't believe it's going to happen and it swamps it. The whining and complaining can take you over.
So we want to be a winner, not a whiner.
Winner, not a whiner. Boom. So good. So that's one. Another one is you are too attached to the situation. You want something so much.
This is important.
And instead of just wanting it and imagining around you, as many of the ancient and, writers in the last couple hundred years have spoken about, this invisible substance around us, this kind of energy, this glow. I can see it when I lay on the beach. I can see above the sand, this they call it a heat wave. You can see it. But I know that's more than just a heat wave. I know that's literally the energy around us that we don't see right here with our normal eyes. I think animals do see it. But anyway, so if you get too attached to something, you imprint into the substance around us this needy energy, this wanting energy, this needy, which is desperation to the universe. And the universe has, let me give you more desperation.
Right.
You got to be, I want it, but I'm going to order it. Like when I'm going to order some shoes or I'm going to order an Uber, I'm going to order whatever I'm going to do. I'm going to press order and I'm going to get on. I'm going to know it's going to come to me.
Right. You're already in the flow of it.
I'm already in the flow.
If you're too attached, you're actually telling the universe, I don't have it.
Yes.
But if you just, like you say, just order it, you're holding the feeling tone of it, you're actually holding the feeling that you already have it. It's already done.
Yes.
That's where we want to go.
And that's it. So people miss out on that point. They're like, okay, I've written it down. I want it. Okay, I'll tell you a really good example. When I manifested, we'll use my husband as an example. I wrote down 100 things I wanted in a person. So I was like, my dream partner would have, he would look like this, 10 things that he would sound like, 10 things we would do together, 10 things that he would feel, all these, every detail, attributes, characteristics. And then usually at that point is where people go wrong. So they'll put what they want down on paper, maybe not 100 things. So there's another part, detail, don't leave it out. The universe will fill it in. Okay, and then that's his story, not yours, right? So write it down, get clear. But then instead of putting that aside and forgetting about it, you see it, and then I would mark myself out of 10 for those attributes. How loving am I being?
Yes.
How humorous am I being? How ambitious am I being?
This is important.
How much am I contributing to the world? How much am I doing all of the anything below an 8 out of 10? I worked on. Because I don't want to attract a 7 out of 10. I'm a freaking 12.
Right.
Like,
Well, you know what you're saying? You're creating a vibrational match for the mate.
Yes.
So instead of saying, I want this person to be this way, you're saying, yes, I want the person to be this way, but I've got to be this way.
Yes.
What am I bringing to the package? What am I bringing to the relationship?
Yes.
So you can't have, this is one of the things that I cover in the Life Visioning, you can't have what you're not willing to become. It's impossible.
Boom.
You may get it temporarily, but you won't be able to keep it if you're not hanging in that vibrational frequency.
So good.
So what you've just taught to all of these people is that, write down, use mate as an example, write down what you want in a mate or a friendship or a business partner or whatever, but then check yourself. Are you vibrating at that level? And if you're not, what did you say? you had to work on yourself.
To work on yourself and become it. So I became my dream partner.
Yeah.
I worked on me.
Yeah.
I became loving and generous. And I went out and boy, I gave so much to charity those 3
Yeah.
weeks. Before I met him, he walked into my life 3 weeks later.
Wow.
But I didn't
I remember
stop.
you texted me
Yeah.
because we were trying to do the wedding.
I
It was
know.
just couldn't pull
You were
it.
going to marry us. Oh my
It
God.
was just too. We'll have the brief little ceremony one time.
We will. When we only did this, we ended up doing it, but when we do another big one, you are 100% there. Oh my God, powerful. So yeah, it was becoming that version of me, becoming this new version of me. But here's the key. Once you become them, you can't forget that version of you. Because now, if you forget how to behave, forget how to be loving, generous, kind, and loyal, this new version of you, when you attract that partner, they will disappear, or the money that's coming into your life will disappear if you do not maintain this new version of you from a DNA level.
Absolutely. In other words, whatever you did to create it, that has to become embodied. It has to become your way of living.
Yes.
Subjectified, just become a part of your subconscious awareness. Subconscious awareness, but deliberate intent, become married. And then you're not faking it. You're not pretending. It's not a pretense.
No.
It's who you are.
It is.
It's right here. Be it vibrationally until you become it. That's exactly what it is. Now, what did not cover that you feel is just very important to the people that are tuning in right now?
The one thing that I would love to share, Michael, is what I call my candle effect. And I know we spoke about it together before when you came on my show.
Right.
And boy, you blew us away.
Oh, beautiful.
So the candle effect is every day we have a choice. Whether we're going to light somebody's candle or whether we're going to blow it out. Are we going to do a kind deed or gesture for somebody in need? A smile at a stranger? Do something for our waitress, our barista when she pours our coffee? Are we going to do something kind? Because that person is going to go home because you lit their candle and they're going to light their spouse's candle, their child's candle, their grandbaby's candle, their friend's candle.
Right.
And then that friend is going to go and light somebody else's candle. And all of a sudden, you have lit up the whole world just from one simple action that you did. You just lit someone's candle.
Absolutely.
With the smallest deed or gesture or smile.
Right.
The same way, you can light somebody's candle, you can blow it out.
Right.
By literally bumping into somebody the wrong way and making a noise.
Right.
By being angry at someone that's not called for.
Right.
For shouting at somebody, for any way that you blow out their candle, a weird tone that you use in your voice to somebody.
Right.
You blow out their candle and they go home and blow out their spouse's candle. And their spouse goes to work and blows out their peer's candle, and so on and so on and so on. And you delight the whole world from one simple action.
We want to be the delight of the universe,
So
but we don't want
good.
to delight somebody's
Yes.
candle. And then
Yes.
we can have that song, "Come on, baby, light my fire. I'm gonna light your fire. I'm gonna light your candle."
Yes,
That's
light
powerful.
it. So us being here right now, someone's candle's being lit.
Right.
Your candle is lit. You're going to go out and send this to somebody else because that's going to light their candle. And guess what? They're going to then send it to somebody else. And it goes viral because of you.
Absolutely.
Do you see?
Yeah. And so you use relationships. We use harmonizing prosperity, wealth. And this also obviously connects with our health.
Yes.
Yeah. To be healthy.
Yes.
To have the body temple stabilize so we can carry more energy to light candle, to do the work that we're called to do, to live our vision. So all of these structures are important.
Yes.
Relationship, emotional health, mental health, physical health, financial health. All of this is a part of be it until you become it.
Everything.
Yeah. This is great.
You need the foundations. You need the principles. You need
Right.
a solid foundation. You can't build on sand.
Right.
You have to build on a firm foundation.
Right.
You have to build, but it starts with you.
Right.
With you. With
Right.
you. It starts with me. It starts with each one of us.
Right.
We must first build from within.
Right.
And I'm not perfect. I don't manage to do this every single moment of my life. I still have human moments where I'm super anxious or something happens, and the difference is
Breathe.
But we have a toolbox.
Yeah.
That's the difference. We have a toolbox to navigate through life. We have a toolbox to be able to overcome situations. Yeah. We have a community to be able to be there with us and move upwards, not downwards anymore.
Yeah. This is very important because there's going to be moments where something happens in life, it's going to knock you off. But if you have the toolbox, which is spiritual practice, then you know to go to that practice when you're not feeling tip-top, when particular conditions or circumstances are happening in your life. So in the world of phenomena, stuff's always happening. Stuff's always happening in the world. You turn on the news right now, you're going to hear 10 negative things that are happening on the planet. However, if you are lighting candles and you're doing your own self-forgiveness, you're lighting your own candle, then you can graciously move through the world and be less and less affected by it. And then you become a bright light in the world, consciously, manifesting the will, the heart's desire that's been placed within you. Health is important. This is why I have two sponsors right now for the podcast. Obviously, the first sponsor is the Agape International Spiritual Center. The second sponsor is Neutralize, because that company has tremendous supplements, and I partnered with them to develop Adapta-Zen superfood green. You tried this, haven't you?
I have to say, I have to actually say, it really is divine. Yeah. It's delicious. It's so healthy, and it has
47 plants.
I mean, come on, that's unbelievable.
47 plants.
47, yeah.
And 3 adaptogens, and probiotics, prebiotics, and digestive enzymes in one scoop. And it tastes good, doesn't it?
Tastes good. It not only tastes good, you feel good.
Yeah.
Like, people always comment on your energy. Yeah. And this is from these super greens that you're drinking.
Meditation and living foods. And then I have my vitamin D3, K2. Those are the sponsors. Check it out. Right now, we're with this passionate, beautiful woman, Natasha Graziano. Be it until you become it. Any closing words? Well, let me ask you this. You did mention a little bit earlier. If they go to your website, there's some gifts, some free gifts and things like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to connect with me, Natasha Graziano on every platform. Right. DM me on Instagram. I love it when people DM me and just say,
that's how we met.
Yeah, isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
I just voice noted him. I was like, hello, with my British accent and this beautiful soul. You see how the universe does amazing things. But this was a long time coming. Obviously, I'd seen you in The Secret 16 years ago. Yeah. And then we met a few years ago. And it's an amazing journey, and things do come true. Things do happen, And in the book, you'll learn all about what we've talked about. BeItUntilYouBecomeIt.com, just on the website. You will get my free video series with the book right now. Lifetime access, which means you can do the MBS method. You can listen to it, do it live, and just experience what we've been talking about today.
Outstanding. Let me ask you this. Are your parents still alive?
Yeah.
And what do they think about you now? About the girl they sent to the monastery when she was 18, and now here you are. You have this beautiful marriage. You have this #1 book, and you're 9-10 million people that follow you. And what do they think about you now?
Well, I know. My mom often says to me, "I am so proud of how far you've come." We did not see that coming. Mm-hmm. And my dad is very spiritual, so he just believes that he knew that I was meant to go through some trying times to sort of through a pressure cooker. Yeah. But they're pretty astounded with the woman that I've turned out to be. So
right, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and now I'm close with my dad. I didn't speak to him for 10 years, and I'm so grateful that we have a beautiful relationship now. Outstanding. And that was because I had to go through that transformation, that transition, and it definitely rubs off on people around you when you change, and you'll distance from people. You will. Yeah. You will have people, but that's okay. Yeah. You can either love people from afar, or people will just drip off behind you, and that's normal. Right. It's like shedding that layer, like a snake. And then imagine that you are a bird for a second, and the water drips off the wings. It does. Right. Every time the water comes on, why do you think when it rains, birds don't collapse on the floor? Because the water drips off the wings.
Right. This is beautiful. You touched upon a very a powerful situation. That is, when you grow and unfold and change, you release things that don't serve you anymore.
Yes.
Sometimes it's relationships,
Yes.
it's people, it's jobs, it's habits, it's conversations, it's complaining,
Yes.
it's bemoaning your fate.
Yes.
That fades away. And we don't have to be sad about that. That's a part of the process. If you grow, your environment is going to change, the people are going to change, but the next great vision and version of yourself brings in a vibratory frequency that matches you.
Yes, it does.
And so your life just keeps getting better and better because life is infinite. There's no ceiling. We're limitless, illimitable beings, and the energy that you're carrying, you carry that frequency of limitless good, Natasha. Limitless good.
You do. You're when you vibrate like that, everything good just flows into you.
Yeah.
It's like this energy that just bubbles up through you, and people say to you, and you and I get this all the time. Your energy is so powerful.
Yeah.
Your energy, and that's all I ever hear. You know, my biggest one, your energy. What do I do to get it?
Yeah.
Well, it's just about being it.
MBS.
Yeah.
You meditate. You do the work.
I do it.
We're vibrational beings. Debris leaves, pollution leaves. Freedom. Spiritual liberation.
Yes.
I understand. You know, we're gonna close now. We could keep going on forever.
I know. I love it.
But I love your background story. For me, I enjoy every day because when I was a young kid, I could have been in jail. You know, I did some things that could have landed me in jail, but the universe saw fit to set me free, and I've never looked back.
Beautiful.
I've never looked back, and every day I wake up and I have the privilege and the honor to speak, to teach, to heal, to pray.
Yes.
I don't get tired of it.
No.
Every day is just more energy to do what I'm called to do, and I feel that same thing in you.
Every day, I just wake up knowing I want to serve one more person.
Yeah.
I want to help someone today to find joy, to find freedom, to just ignite that flame in them. I want to inspire people to go and inspire.
Absolutely.
And I love that.
Before they expire.
Yes. Oh, your lines are so good. It's like spoken word poetry. This is it. And you feel when you are with the right people, it just flows. It feels so good.
Absolutely.
That's why we could do this for hours.
Hours. Listen, go to her website. Go to any platform. Be it until you become it. Get the free gifts. Tune into her. She'll take you to a really powerful place. Truly. I wouldn't have her on here. Truly. Natasha,
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you
Beautiful
for being
show.
here.
I love this.
And we'll do some other things together.
Oh, yeah, we will. Oh, God, I'm so
Absolutely.
excited. The things we're going to do together are going to be
Absolutely.
amazing.
Absolutely. God bless you.
Thank you.
Peace and blessings, everyone. You've been listening to Take Back Your Mind. That's what we want you to do. If your mind has been hijacked by fears and lies, misperception, limited point of view, you can, as she reminded us today, you can literally take back your mind that has been hijacked by the world and set yourself free. This is the part of the Take Back Your Mind podcast in which we have a moment of reflection, a moment of meditation, a moment of being still and actually practicing and embodying the teachings that make us free and liberated from fear, doubt, worry, anxiety. In other words, all that would hijack our mind. I invite you in this particular moment to sit with your back erect but not rigid, feet on the ground. Today, let's have our hands facing upward on our lap, thumb, forefinger touching as a mudra of transcending the personal mind or ego perception. Close your eyes. Take a breath. Release. And begin to be aware in this moment. Give yourself permission to be aware that you're at the very center of the universe. You're at the center of the cosmos. Why? Because the center is everywhere and the circumference is nowhere. So you're at the center of love and beauty and intelligence and abundance and affluence and order and harmony. All of that is cradling you in this moment. Breathe that in. And let us begin to activate a sense of having everything that we need. Let's begin to activate an awareness that all of our needs are met, that we are safe and secure, and magnificently supported by a friendly, progressive universe. Give yourself permission to allow every breath that you take to be an amplification of what I just said. Surrounded by love, support, beauty, abundance, and safety. Feel into that. And as I say often, if it's difficult to feel into that, or difficult to remember a moment such as that, allow for your imagination to fly free and imagine what it would feel like to be totally supported, loved, appreciated, to have all of your needs met, to be safe and secure. Imagine, what would that feel like? As you're feeling that in this instant, the signal that's emanating from you right now, the vibrational signal that's being magnified and radiated from your being, is a signal of harmonizing prosperity. It is a signal of safety, wellness, well-being, and support. With every breath that you take, this signal is becoming more and more powerful. So this is becoming your personal vibrational signature. Your vibrational signature that is now being recognized by universal law. So as universal law embraces this signal, harmonizing prosperity, safety, deep sense of support is being magnified in and as your life experience. You may say this is what you are attracting now. You might say this is what you are radiating now. So as you are radiating this, you are bringing this into manifestation. Ease and grace, without one negative incident. Feel into it with me for a moment in this sacred moment of silence and dynamic radiation. And so it is from this awareness that I embrace all of these beings tuning in to this sacred podcast. And all of these individuals tuning into this sacred podcast are blessed exceedingly well with the awareness that all needs are met, a divine sense of safety and divine support. Each being tuning in now is blessed. That is, more life is being conferred upon them right here and right now. I feel it, I sense it, I see it, and I give thanks for it. Therefore, I can say, and so it is. Now, so be it. Amen. Your time is very valuable, so I want to thank you for lending us your ear and participating in taking back your mind. If you want to submit a question for the question of the week, please submit it to podcast@michaelbeckwith.com. If you've enjoyed what you've heard today, please submit a review and let us know your thoughts. Stay on top of current episodes by subscribing to the podcast so that you'll receive alerts and not miss one single episode. And feel free to share this podcast with all of your friends and family. And until we meet again, take back your mind, and you will take back your life. Peace and blessings.